Fred Film Radio, this is Maria Bonsanti from the 81st Venice International Film Festival, and I'm here with the director Olha Zhurba and Ganna Vasyk, one of the protagonists of Song of Slow Burning Earth, presented in the official selection out of competition. Olha, in your highly cinematographic documentary, you portray the normalization of war. After the trauma of the Russian full-scale invasion in 2022, how did you shift from documenting to cinema, to film? When did it happen? The passage?
Yeah, so of course we started to film it as archive footage because it was difficult to think about the film in the beginning of full-scale invasion because it was absolute chaos and absolute apocalyptic feeling of reality, as we know, from descriptions from the books about or films about apocalypses. So of course, in that moment, it was nobody was thinking about film, because film is also something about the future, and the future was erased in the moment. So after we liberated, our Ukrainian troops liberated some regions, for example, Kiev region and some regions in the south and east Ukraine. We understood that we're still in danger, but the Russian troops was stopped. And at that moment, we started to, I was also part of this transformation of adapting to this new reality that the war will be long and we need to adapt. And this adaptation is still going on. But this first chaos that you didn't know would you will alive in the beginning of the war, full-scale invasion of these 2 months, it disappeared because Ukrainian forces stopped the occupation. And from that moment, I continued to film, but I started to think about this archive footage that we already had as what kind of film it could be, because I would love to, I would like to continue to film, because it also was for me as human being to continue to do something that was from your previous life. It was like my something that grounded me a little bit, and it helped me just to to live. Yeah. And at least to believe that I'm doing something. Yes. Because in Ukraine, most people was trying to do at least that they can do. And as you know, first 6 months, especially of full-scale invasion, many civilians became soldiers, many businessmen became volunteers. So we all were and still doing a lot as what we can do, at least.
Ganna, were you already familiar with the kind of cinema that Olha does? I mean, it's not easy to understand if you're not familiar with documentary cinema, that those images are also going to be part of a cinematographic work, not only a document. And did you hesitate to be filmed, to be in the movie?
Actually, not any single second, because our first meeting happened when I was at the frontline, serving in the airborne assault troop as a medic of the evacuation. And first we had a tiny conversation in Messenger, and then Olga just offered to come to me which was already for me kind of a huge act of trust and her bravery, which showed me that it has to be something really serious. And then we had, I don't remember, like 3 or 4 hours conversation. So it was like really deep.
With shelling on the background.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it was like actually Zaporizhia direction. It was our counter-offensive. It was last autumn. And so during this conversation, I just, when you meet your kind of people, it's really easy to feel that super briefly. And when you discuss some deep topics, of course, the war, first of all, then you understand the person and person's intentions and person's understanding of the whole world. And then in the end, it doesn't really matter what the scenario is, what the consequences would be, what would be the stage or like the part, the episode with me. It doesn't really matter because you trust the person and therefore you trust the process. And in the end, it turned out a little bit different, like the episode that I was filmed in. And the main thing here was just to be myself and not to pay attention at the camera. So it's kind of easy role because you don't have to act. Yeah, it's actually what I'm doing right now. I don't act. I just answer your question being myself. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing your feelings and for being with us today. Unfortunately, we have already to wrap. And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is Maria Bonsanti from Fred at the Festival Insider.